Welcome to Let's Fucking Chat. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Alex. Let's talk about some stuff.
So, I think for this podcast, it's going to be just maybe 1 week or one every 2 weeks, depending on our schedules. We will pick a topic and just talk about it. Like, we're just going to chat about the topic, give our own anecdotes, maybe stories that are going on around the world about the topic that we pick. It could be, like we said before, anything from like, who knows, depression to love, sex, drugs, music, anything that we want to talk about. There's a lot to talk about in this world, and I think we could do some really cool deep dives on like some weird shit going on, because there's a lot of weird shit. So yeah, I think that's gonna be our podcast. Anything you'd like to say?
No, that was a pretty good summation of everything. This is the pilot episode, and so we're going to do a lot of
Yes.
introductions. Like, what the hell is this?
I know. What is this? Who are we? Maybe let's say what are top 5 topics that we're most excited to talk about.
Ooh, that is a hard one.
I know. There's a lot to talk about. I guess I'll just go first.
Yeah.
So like I said before, my name is Kelsey. I'm 23. I live in the state of Mississippi. What else? What else? What else? I'm currently in college at Mississippi State for a BA in Business Administration. I hate it, but it is necessary. I'm married, yes, at 23, to my awesome husband. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats. I think the thing I'm most excited to talk about is probably drugs. Also, probably the mind of like murderers, because we were talking about that earlier.
Oh wow.
Maybe
I was actually
some.
watching a video about that.
Were you really the mind of
Yeah.
murderers? Oh
Before we
god.
started all this, I was like, it's like, yeah, there's a YouTube channel called like JCS Criminal Psychology,
Oh
and it's just
god.
like this guy talking over like these like criminals and like the psychology of it and stuff, and it's
Mm-hmm.
it's super fucking interesting.
See, this is something we'll talk about.
Yeah,
That's
true.
cool. Mm, maybe another thing I'm excited to talk about is like maybe holistic wellness. I always like find myself watching like shows on Netflix about like weird like holistic practices and if they're good or bad. Ooh, maybe like cults too. That shit's always interesting. Like, how do you become a part of a cult? The different like religious cults or like the murderous cults. Like, so many cults out there, you can't keep up. And maybe the last thing is probably, who knows, maybe like depression, because like we've all experienced it. So like, why not talk more about it and bring up old memories of the past and how we're doing today with it? Is that a
True.
thing?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just some more about me. Oh, I also love to curse. I actually got an email from my professor once the class was over, and he literally wrote me. He was like, "Hey Kelsey, now the class is over. I just wanted to let you know that you swear like a sailor, and I used to be in the Navy. But yeah, heads up."
Jeez.
And I read that, and I was like, "Oh,
Wait,
okay, thank
how did he
you."
get your voice? How does he know that you were like, were you guys directly talking or something in class or what?
Oh no. Oh yeah, I forgot you didn't have to go through college all online. So
Yeah.
when you take an exam, you use this thing called like honor lock, and they have access to like your camera to watch you and your fucking audio. So like I would take these exams and like you can't go back. You literally cannot go back to the last question. Like it's just go straight forward. If you get it right, you get it right. You get it wrong, you get it wrong. And so like
Mm.
one day I was taking the exam and I remember it was a true or false question. I clicked false, hit the next button, and realized the answer was true. I literally like went off on the like camera. I just started cursing and I was like, this dumb motherfucking piece of shit. Like, why can I not go back? Like, I just screwed myself. I'm like effing like gonna fail now. I don't know, yeah. I just like cursed a lot throughout like the whole exam. Even if it's like just because I'm like over it pretty much. Because like staring at a computer screen for like 45 minutes, it just like hurts my eyes and I just get really frustrated. And yeah, just they have access to like watch you and look at you as you take an exam. So that's how I
Yeah.
found out. And I got flagged by the algorithm. So,
Ripperino.
yeah.
It's funny because you must have been swearing a lot for that to be a point for him to email you about it.
Oh, yeah. But I asked him too. I was like, why did I even get flagged? He was like, oh, it's because you read out like every single question like out loud, which I do because it's like no one else is like in this room with me except for myself. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, that's why that algorithm like flagged you because you would read out literally every single question and they thought I was cheating. And yeah, so I guess like he was able to like listen to the audio and he was just like, yeah, you did curse a lot. So yeah, that's how he found out my darkness. I don't know.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
What
enough
was the
about me and
topic? Yeah.
cursing. Let's move on to you.
Okay. Hello, my name is Alex. I am a professional software developer. I can say that now because I have a job and I
Yes.
also graduated in it. Also, I live in Florida. I do music as well as software development. And I recently started music, so only the very beginning of 2020 is when I started music. And so far, it's been really great. I've been very, very lucky in that I started to get a lot of friends with that like did music and stuff like that, so I can kind of bounce stuff off of people and stuff, and that's really really cool. And honestly, my music is getting a lot better. Anyway, back to me. Um, and I guess my top five things that I would rather that I can't wait to talk about is I actually agree with you. Drugs, drugs are fun to talk about. Um,
Yes.
music because of course I do music, and also there's just lots of fun things about music to talk about. Psychology, which is something that I really really love. I It's one of my favorite things to talk about, psychology and philosophy. So psychology is just something that I feel like both you and I are would actually be into talking about. Life stuff, just because there's always life stuff happening, and I love talking about life stuff, like how's your day, what's going on, that type of stuff. I love talking about life stuff.
Yes.
In fact, sometimes a little bit too much, but we'll see later in the future. We'll see. And I think I agree with you on the depression as well. I think you could talk a lot about depression and just kind of help people who are listening who are going through their own shit, and to know that like, oh hey, like other people have gone through it, and we're and you're not alone and all that type of shit. That's probably good. Also, I'm okay with cursing too. That's why this podcast is called Let's Fucking Chat.
Hell yeah. I
But
think too.
hmm,
No, what were you gonna say?
we kept it brand friendly by just saying LF Chat.
Yes, we definitely had to. And I think that was the best way to do it. So,
True.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, the design, courtesy of Kelsey. It looks really, really great, and there's probably going to be many more stuff that she creates that's gonna look really, really dope. Um, and yeah, and I would probably be doing a lot of the technical stuff. So
Yes.
if you have a website that we'll probably end up having in the future or something like that, and it ends up going down, yell at me, and then I'll yell at whoever I hire to do it. But that's basically about me. That's basically who I am. What are we doing with LF chat? What is the purpose
I
other
think
than
the purpose is like, I feel like, especially now, like, as we're still going through a weird quarantine in the midst of COVID, the COVID vaccine has now been developed, and lots of frontline people, nurses, doctors, my husband might get it soon. Everyone is like, it's like we're almost transitioning out of it, but we'll still be in it. I feel like people are honestly like super fucking lonely, and I will definitely say I get super fucking lonely living in a state where I don't really know a lot of people, only the people I
Mhm.
work with. But I think the point, at least for me, of starting this podcast with you is just like to be able to chat with somebody about just like topics you don't really have a casual like wine night with, because
Yeah.
like some things you just have to talk with like someone that you really vibe with. And I think too, like even for me, I love listening to podcasts and I love listening to audiobooks, and it's just like a good escapism. But also, especially for podcasts or even the audiobooks, like you can usually relate to them somehow, and it just feels really good to know, like we said earlier about depression, like you're really not alone. Like people always say in those stupid ads or even like commercials, just like everyone's depressed, you're not alone. But like if you actually hear people say like, yes, I've been depressed and this is what happened, you can really say, oh wow, someone actually has been. It's not just a goddamn lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think, at least for me, that's why I texted you and asked you if you wanted to start this. Also, I think we should talk about how we even met, because it's kind of a weird story
Oh
ish.
yeah. Yeah. What is your side of the story? Because I only know my side of the story.
I don't even want to know your side. Okay, my side is that this is like fresh. So we both graduated high school in 2015. So we met like I think like the summer of our like freshman, I think going into sophomore year, when like we weren't doing anything. And I will also let whoever's listening to this know that Alex and I have only met twice in person, which is so fucking weird. But if you think
Yeah.
about it now, it's really not. But anyway, so I met Alex through his friend Nabil, who I actually went to high school with. And it was Nabil, our friend Juan, and Christian, three actual mutual friends that we have in common. And we all played like Minecraft during the summer. And then I think Alex and I just formed like a good bond together. And then it kind of fizzled out with like any friendship. And it's always been a weird like on and off. But I think like as we're older and low key realize, like at least for me, I don't want to speak for you, but it's like for me it's really fucking hard to make actual genuine friendships as an adult, because everyone's
True.
so busy, and it's honestly super fucking hard. Like I've literally tried so many times and it's hard. And it's like when you meet somebody through work, like that's all you talk about is like
Yeah.
literally work, work, work. You don't have any other topics you can talk about. So I think like rekindling our friendship after I always do drunkenly text him and a few people too, and I know like the next morning I read them and I'm like, what the actual fuck. But I asked basically our friend group ish, whatever you want to call it, to all like have a Discord and chat. And then I realized, I was like, Alex is so fun to chat to. Like he always can talk about anything. So I feel like basically met through Skype, all playing Minecraft. And then I met him once, and then I met him again. And the second time I met him, I was with some dumb bitch. And yeah, so that's it. That's all. That's all she said. Yes.
Okay. So my side, I don't remember what was going on with like why Nabil specifically invited me to the call. So he's a friend who Nabil is a friend who is actually a game developer, and right now he's working on a game called Super Hamster Havoc. Like easy plug that he didn't ask me to do because he doesn't know anything about this. But um, yeah, him and I know each other because of game development, and we just knew each other when we were in elementary school. And then he randomly invited me to this group that had, yeah, I'm pretty sure it had Christian and Juan and you and
Yes.
Bill. I think that was all who was on there, I think. Um, and I was just kind of like, I was talking to all of them. And then at one point, I was just kind of like, this person actually seems pretty interesting to talk to. I started talking to her, and then we got a very 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 close bond, pretty close bond. I even helped you out with your YouTube channel, which was pretty dope.
Yes, I would
Um,
say so. Yes.
yeah,
Dark times, but yes.
yeah, yeah. um, and then yeah, we just kind of like it then fizzled out. I don't necessarily remember why. I think it was just like it just naturally fizzled out. And then I think we started talking again when I was in college, and I think that was like the was that the first time we met? Wait, met up? I don't actually remember. Yeah, that was the
Yes.
first time we met up. Yeah,
Remember? Yeah, like
Yeah.
UCF. Oh my god, I was dating
Yeah.
Carlos and he was like low key kind of jealous. I was like, fuck you. I have a car. Bye.
Yeah, and so like yeah, so some I don't remember how we started talking again in college, but that happened, and then you were just like, hey, like we're actually very close to each other, so let's hang out. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So we hung out. That was really really dope. Um, and yeah, we just kind of it was basically off again for a while, and then you invited us to the group call because you were like, hey, I need to talk to more people. And I was kind of like same, like you said. I think that as an adult, it's very 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 hard to find friends. I think that like if anyone is listening and they're in college, like you should find your friends now and don't like
Yes,
don't
yes.
skimp out on it because you will never find a group of people, or it is very hard to find a group of people
Mm-hmm.
like who are in the same exact circumstances as you. And that's what makes it very easy to make friends is when you have very similar circumstances, so you can kind of bond with people very very fast. But as an adult
Yes.
going over to maybe like a bar or some coffee shop, you meet somebody, you're probably at two completely different stages in your life and doing two completely separate things. So there's not a lot to like bond about there, and of course you'd have to make the effort there. But for sure, meeting at like a college is much easier. But also meeting old friends is probably cool too. Um, and so yeah, we started talking, and I was like, that's really really dope. I actually enjoyed the actually liked the thought of the server, and yeah, after that we just continued talking, and yeah, I think you're a very interesting person, and I like to talk to you. And like you said, I think we're both two people who can talk about a lot of stuff and who aren't afraid to get into some weird areas, and I like that. I like to talk freely amongst people.
Yes, we are a very free speaking podcast. I feel like we won't really hold anything back. I mean, I might hold some personal things back because it's like I don't really want people to fucking hear that
True.
shit and like, yeah, no, but maybe just some things I might hold back on. But I also think too, if we just overall go back to that friendship thing, I think like you said, like meet your friends in college because once you
Yeah.
start working or even if you leave college and you'll find that like so many people are in different spots in their life, and if you're not in that spot with them, honestly there is no friendship. Or if you don't even have any common ground to talk about outside of like work, then it's not going to happen as friends. So just
Yeah.
FYI to anyone listening.
Yeah, also work friends are hard cuz I mean at least for me like cuz I don't like making friends at work like
Mm-hmm.
off of work because like especially when I'm like doing other shit. I think my roommate explained it best, which was that like they can't know how much of a degenerate I am.
Yes.
Cuz I have work life
Literally.
me who's like, "Oh yeah, like I rarely ever curse, and when I do I'm like,
Yes.
"Oh, sorry." And then like outside life me, which is like I'm cursing almost every fucking second. Like
Yes.
they can't know that.
Exactly. They can't see who the real Alex is because they will be
Exactly.
frightened as fuck. I definitely feel the same, but like, I feel like at least with this job that I have now, everyone's honestly so freeing. It's just like, to me, it's like staying out of like that weird girl drama because I work mostly with like women and I literally hate girl drama, but I feel like I'm honestly very, what's the word? What's that word when you like to just like stay in and be like really quiet to yourself and like sit in the corner of the room during social events? Oh, I'm an
Introverted?
introvert. Yeah,
Mm.
by heart. So like I just like to look and like get everyone's piece of the drama and just store it in my brain and just sit and think about it, you know? I think I'm weird
Same.
like that though.
Same.
I just
Yeah.
soak it all in.
Yeah. I have a very weird kind of like party like area where like almost every single time I go to a party, like I'll end up like going somewhere alone or somewhere just kind of like in my own area, like
Yeah.
taking a load off, like calming down, chilling out because I have social anxiety, which isn't fun because like I can be social like crazy. I'm a pretty social person. I actually love like talking with people and stuff like that. But like social anxiety is not fun. And so like not only do I have social anxiety, I'm also pretty introverted as well. So what I'll usually do is I'll go to a party, I'll find the nearest couch, go completely to sleep for like 5 minutes,
What?
and then I'll wake up and then I'll go talk to everybody.
What?
Yeah. I
If
actually
I
did
saw.
that. I did
What?
that so many times. I just like go
Oh
to
my
a
gosh.
couch, I laid down, and then like I just gotta like just knock out for like 5 minutes,
What?
and then I get up and I'm just like, all right, who's ready to party?
Your body's like, let me fucking like give you a quick 5 minutes of energy and like give you
Yeah,
an exorcism. Your old self is out, the new is in. You're
yeah,
welcome. Goodbye. Flutter like a butterfly in the party.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I love being like I love being pretty like social, but for sure, like being social does drain me super fast.
Oh yeah,
Like
same.
there's so many times that I'm just like, oh, let's go out, and then like seconds into going out, I'm just like, I want to go home right now because I am just done. I'm done with everything.
Yes.
Nothing bad happened, but it was just too much. Like,
Oh yes. I definitely felt that. Maybe not at parties, is like pre-COVID, I honestly don't like going out because like I think I'm the same. Like interacting with people is so draining, and like most of my jobs, almost all my jobs, have been pretty much customer service, and that's already so draining on itself. So like
yeah,
being off of that like 7 or even a 4 hour shift, and then being like, all right, everyone, let's go out and pregame and drink. I'm just like, I'm mentally tired. A quick 5 minute nap on the couch is not gonna help me. So I'm good, thanks.
yeah. I
Like no.
kind of same. See when it came to me and my roommate, we had a talk, and we might have been on some controlled substances, but we won't talk about them
Mm.
now because those would be more fun conversations later. But we might have been on controlled substances, and we were talking to each other, and we were realizing how much we were like not like okay with where we were because both of us were techies. So like we did the normal techie thing, which is like be in your room like all day and like
Yes.
doing like programming or watching stuff. And then we were like, there's not a lot of memories there, and we were realizing that we just never made any memories or any good memories. So we are like, you know what? Let's actually like start to like hold ourselves to like going out somewhere every once in a while. Like we actually said like every week at least once we had to go out somewhere. Um,
Hmm.
and then we did, and then we actually started like normally going to like music festivals, concerts, and stuff like that. We went to my first ever music festival or big music festival in Okeechobee, where we camped out and might have been on controlled substances then, and it was super fun, and like for sure we created so many memories there, which was like the entire purpose of going out anyway. And
Yes.
yeah, so at first it was like that. It was kind of like, stay home, but after kind of that realization that we wanted to make a little bit more memories and stuff like that, we kind of went out and just started just doing random stuff. I got into like filmmaking because I wanted to like keep like memories around and stuff like that. But then COVID happened, and now I
Hmm.
can't do anything.
I feel like we should like lightly talk about the impacts of the lockdown that we each experienced because yeah, I just feel like we should lightly talk about our experiences with that because I know it's different for everyone. So, should we
Yeah,
do that?
yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, I'll say that COVID, thank you God, has honestly not even like directly impacted my family. But then again, I do live in Mississippi, and my mom's a nurse manager at a hospice ish facility in like, I don't know, somewhere in Florida. I'm so bad at that. But luckily, she's okay. My sister's fine, who's also in college, a little younger than me. But I would say personally, I actually had a job working for kind of the government. Like, not really. It's just like NAP. So it's like semi part of the government. It's basically like all the fun things that a military base offers, like the marina, renting kayaks. Anyways, long story short, I hated that fucking job. so fucking much. I think I went to a really dark place when I was working at that job. But anyways, when they announced that COVID was happening and like we might be shutting down, I was like, oh, thank you God. And then later, literally a week later, they're like, okay guys, yeah, we're not gonna have any of the facilities open, so we're all just gonna stay home and we'll see what happens. And I got paid for like all of pretty much like I think like maybe end of March, definitely all of April. I think maybe all of May, half of May, but anyways, I basically got paid to stay home, which was like the greatest blessing on earth. But I will say I went through a very bad like alcohol bender where at
Mm,
night for like a week straight, literally I'd start at 6 and I would just get like super wasted and I'd stay up until literally like 4 a.m. playing my like Switch and Animal Crossing, and it just was like really bad. Like it was like for a whole fucking week, like I just got really blackout drunk and then just passed out on the couch. But I'd say overall I was like fine. Like my husband had to go to work, which I was kind of bummed about, but like he has to. But dude, I got paid. I think I was like one of
yeah.
the lucky ones. I literally got paid. I didn't get furloughed. Yeah, but I kind of started my alcohol addiction, so that's probably the downer. Yeah, so I think that's just how I handled it. And now it's a weird new normal. I have a new job, so that helps, but it's a weird, like, we still have to obviously wear masks because you should, but then it's like the state of Mississippi is, some people are like, a mask? What's that? What do you think about it? And I'm like, where have you been for the past 2020? Like, do you live in the
Yeah.
woods? Do you live in a pile of sticks? Excuse me, ma'am. Sir with no teeth? Yes, you need a mask. Thanks. But that's how I just have been feeling about it, so, mm, yeah.
Yeah. For me, again, yeah, we had just like we had just gotten the like want to do more, like go outside, like go out more and shit like that, and
Mm-hmm.
then the lockdown happened, and it was just kind of like, oh yeah, never do that. Like we can never do that, like for real ever again,
Yes.
or for a while, and it was kind of unfortunate, but as an introvert, it felt really good.
Oh my
Like
god, same.
yeah, like I felt like I did so much work and stuff like that that I would not have done like if I had like go out places often
Mm-hmm.
or go to work and stuff like that, because then like by the time I go come home from work, like my social battery is just completely like done. I'm just want to go like lay down and watch movies. But I just kind of like got up, did my work at home, and then I just did more stuff because I was just like, I don't have to talk to anybody except my roommates,
Yes.
and it was great. But then as it started going on like later and later, I was like, I kind of want to do more stuff because me and my friends had planned to go to another country. We were either going to go to France or Canada, but again, COVID happened, and so we had to like postpone those plans. Uh, and then and then I got into music. That was again towards the beginning, but like more music after like the pandemic had like went like ham, and it helped me learn a lot, and stuff like that. But other than that, it's just been kind of like yeah. After a while, wow, this is an interesting thought. A thought, this train of thought. Um, as it's been going on, it's just been getting more and more boring. I just want to do more stuff. I want to go out and meet
Oh
more people and
yes.
stuff like that. Um, and the best we can do is just hope that everybody calms down and like gives us
Mm-hmm.
goes in their house and just stays there for
I
like
know.
a couple of weeks so that we can all have a fun time. But
I
unfortunately, there are some
know.
people who don't want to do that, and because of
I
that,
know.
ruins it. Like we're I'm in Florida. Like they just decided just like yeah, nah. Let's not. And then we paid for it
Mm-hmm.
by like getting a
Oh
bunch
yes.
of I'm lucky enough to have never caught it, but I have a friend who caught it, and he said it was not good. You lose your like smell your sense of smell and taste. That's insane.
I
I
know.
could never.
I could not imagine not being able to taste like literally anything. Like I'm fine with the smell because I have cats and I have to clean their litter, and I was cleaning it this morning and I thought I was gonna throw up because it just smelled so bad. But like You're like, you can't taste anything, like that would suck.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is my taste. I love tasting stuff. Smell, yeah, same. Smell, not so much. I'd much rather like if it was just like a like you didn't like because you know when you're sick and you have a stuffy nose, so it kind of like makes it hard to smell. I hope it's not like
Ew,
that
yes.
because that's disgusting. But if it's just kind of like
Mm-hmm.
oh you just don't smell anything, I'm okay with not smelling anything for X amount of days. Like that's fine. But yeah, somehow it's sad because the pandemic made me more productive, and so I got more way more stuff done. Um, but because of that, although I got a lot of stuff done, I wasn't able to be as social as I wanted to be or that I had planned to be at the very beginning of the year, which really sucks. But what can you do?
That is true. I
Something
think
that I
if
go for it.
okay, I was gonna say, if anything, I think like the biggest takeaway we should all take away, the biggest, I just repeated the same thing, but I think is that like the importance of honestly just traveling and occasionally seeing people that you do like to hang out with because damn, I just miss fucking going on that one like week of vacation because that did not happen. Like I just miss going out, experiencing something from your mundane routine.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it. I agree with you that like I for sure when I start when the pandemic's over, I'm gonna be doing a lot more like even more hanging out with friends and not taking that for granted and stuff like that because yeah, I don't want this to happen again.
I know, really same. I Yeah, it's just crazy.
It is. It's insane.
Well, I think it's now 2021, so it's a new year, new me. Maybe we could
Uh,
talk about the things maybe we're excited for about this new year.
yeah,
Get off of
yeah.
2020.
Get
Who's
off
that
this.
bitch?
Yeah, fuck 2020. 2020 can suck
Exactly.
my dick.
Exactly. If I had a dick, I could suck it too.
I guess the thing that I'm looking forward to is I'm taking a bunch of singing classes. Oh, I'm planning to take singing classes and piano classes and songwriting class. Oh, I'm taking a songwriting class, so I can kind of get better at music production and stuff, so that I can make good music that people would want to listen to. Uh, and I look forward to getting as good as I got with music production in one year, like with those, with like singing and songwriting and stuff like that.
Yeah, you
Because
want to know how to do the full like shebang.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Mainly, like I'm okay. Like I don't know. Yeah, all of those three things are like the most important things for me because like one, I don't like having to wait for people to give me vocals, and also I want to be able to like write my own music and sing my own music because like I feel like that would let me to express a lot more stuff that I'd express a lot more that I would otherwise not be able to if I have to wait for somebody. Um, I lost my train of thought there, but yeah, singing is something that's very important to me, and playing the piano, of course, that's probably like you know issue one when coming doing production. And yeah, in songwriting, honestly, I just want to be able to songwrite. Like it's not even much for production, just because like I want to be able to like write poems and shit. My brother is really good at it. I'm not good at it, and I want to get better at like writing and stuff like that because as you'll probably hear in the future, my ability with words, I can use like I tend to use very, articulate wording, but I don't like my brain doesn't come up with words fast enough. I don't know why, but like
Hmm.
I'll be going through a sentence and then like it'll just be like a super easy word. I'll forget like the word jump and I'm just like what is that word? And I'll just completely forget it and I would be unable to say it or whatever. Um, so that kind of goes into my writing as well, where I'm just like I don't know what words to use. So I want to get way better at that because yeah, it's kind of pretty. It'd be really cool, you know. What about you? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to graduating college. Fingers crossed I should be done fall of 2021.
True.
Thank you, God. If that's my last semester, thank you, God. If not, fuck me. Um, I think I'm also just looking forward to. This is so cheesy, but honestly, just like spending time with my husband. Hopefully, he doesn't have to leave me again, but if he does, I'll be better prepared this time mentally. And yeah, I think that's literally it. Hmm. Oh, so I guess a little background about me. Again, my husband is in the military, and so we move every 3 or 4 years. And I've lived in Mississippi for now 2 full years, and I'm on my third year. So by the end of 2021, we should probably know where our next location will be. So I'm really excited about that. I'm already on Zillow looking at the next house we're gonna buy, like a crackhead, but gotta know the market of each state, you know. But I think that's what I'm excited about, and yeah, just live in another year. Yep.
Yeah. All for me also the opportunities because I've been like setting up a bunch of like studio time with people. With like I have this like one really good rapper that is very interested with working with me, and he sounds really good. Um, and he has like 40 followers on SoundCloud, so I could like I expect him to do very good things, and so I'm kind of like developing for him, and he actually lives pretty close to me, so we're gonna find some studio time. I also have another friend that uh, him and we actually just jammed out the other day, and it was really cool. So we're probably gonna make a lot more stuff together, and just all the different like opportunities that I'm going to be having this year that are going to chain off of those things. I'm very interested in because like something that I found out that even the my friend I had never thought about it, but when I went over to his place the other day when we were going to jam out, he asked me, he's like, okay, so what do you so he said because at the very beginning of 2020 we both said that we were going to put out an EP, and so by the end of the 2020, I put out an EP. And so he said, okay, so you did really good. Like you actually kept on it. So what do you expect? Do you expect to like just have music be the side, or do you want to actually go full flow, like hardcore into music? And it was like the first time I actually like had thought about that, and I realized it's like, yeah, I kind of want to just do music. Like music is really dope, and I'm lucky to have the fallback of computer science and like of being a software developer. So money will never really be an issue for me. So I just have to like I just can do music now, and I think that's really good. And I wish I knew where I was going with that, but um, yeah, I want to see all the different opportunities and stuff, especially since I want to go like super hard into music, and yeah, see where it takes me by the end of the year because I'm gonna go hard.
There you
And
go.
hopefully sometime hopefully corona doesn't ruin some of that for me, but maybe not.
Yeah, let's definitely hope that more opportunities will present themselves in 2021 because I'm gonna need some of those right now.
True.
Right? Like I need some of those right fucking now. But I like where I am in life, so it's pretty chill. It's pretty chill.
Do
Um,
you have anything that like that so I know so you're really good at designing and stuff like that. Have you ever like wanted to do something with that like in the future, or do you have something like a hobby or something that you'd want to do in the future, like or anything?
uh, I have no idea. Like, I guess another thing about me, like I have an AA in graphic design, and I love art so much, but I feel like when I worked as a like social media intern and then like got hired, I felt like all of my creativity honestly just got like sucked out of my body because when you do, it's like that double-edged sword. Like do something that you love, but it's like after so many times of doing this and it's kind of like repetitive, it's
Yeah.
like do I actually want to do this? Because like it's now just ruining it for me. Like working like a 9 to 5, staring at my computer for like 10 billion hours, it feels like, and then you just like leave and you're like, I don't even like what I made. Like, I'm making
Yeah.
this for someone else. Like, it's not, when it's like no longer enjoyable, I think that's when I mentally and creatively, just like tap out. So, like, maybe, but it'd have to be more just like something fun. Like there'd be no pressure really. But I mean, I do have that skill and I do like that aspect of life, the marketing and like the design. But I've also worked a real 9 to 5 where I was a receptionist and the job was kind of boring, but when I look back at it, I actually really liked it. It was very chill. I had a really nice CEO. The office manager was really nice. We bonded over our love for beer and he was like, yeah, it's kind of boring, but just like hang in there. You can do whatever you want on the side. So I'm honestly not opposed to working at an office. I would like to be an office manager, weirdly, because it's just a leadership position. I don't know, yeah. But we'll see where this business administration degree takes me and what happens with all that jazz. Thanks for joining our conversation,
Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.
and we will see you in the next chat.